All right. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope everyone is having a good start of your week. I hope you had a good Labor Day. And now we're ready to get started on a new week of streaming. And not just that, but as you can see, we are returning back to our regularly scheduled programming, if you will. So, today we are going to be playing Tangle Tower. It's been a couple of weeks since we played this, so hopefully I'll remember everything. But we're going to be investigating the pointer side of the tower. So it looks like today we actually have game sound. Like, I gotta check that now, make sure. It looks like everything's okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today we are playing Tangle Tower, and in today's episode, well, we're gonna go investigate the pointer side of the tower and see what they might have to say about this murder. Who done it? I don't know. Let's hop in and see if we can get any more clues. Right. So we're gonna go ahead and head back into the greenhouse. But we want to visit somewhere else. All right, so I guess let's just check here because I don't know what it is. Let's go check it out and see who's there. The music room. Oh, we have a new person here. Hello? My?
Are you a ghost?
Sally, that's rude. Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask
Poppy
you a few
Pointer?
questions about Freya.
I know.
Oh boy.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice.
All right, so tell me about
Just
yourself.
me. There's nothing to know.
How are you
That's
related
not
to the other
true.
Pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to
Boy.
anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
Two of them, Fifi and Freya, are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do
But
people
she was
ever
ripped out of the picture,
leave
right?
Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away, definitely.
But
Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi, things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Oh boy. So tell me about
3.5
yesterday.
hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5.
That's
Does
a
that
lot of
not hurt your
time.
hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally
Okay.
got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just
I
you
wonder
up
if
there?
we'll get to investigate her room.
Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So,
Oh boy.
did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
I wonder what she's trying to say. Hey, Toad, welcome in.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon.
Okay, then
I
what?
heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, So we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there. So I made Fitz
Were
kick down
they
the door.
okay?
I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Huh.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know
Oh
what to
boy.
do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I
Why would
dragged
she
her
already
out
be
into the hall.
crying?
My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, let's see what she feels about all the people. Looks like we have 2 more people we have to meet.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing, with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Well, that definitely describes Flora. Okay, so what about Felix?
Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days a shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some 4 walls make round a room.
She has a poem about everyone.
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Wonder what that's supposed to mean.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
So is Hawkshaw somehow more involved than she lets on? Makes you wonder.
Heart of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
Okay, so I'm very curious why the photo was of Fifi and Freya, but Poppy was torn out.
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
Poppy is very deep. What do you have to say about yourself, Poppy?
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that
Oh
would be
boy.
kinda cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
All right, now let's ask about the items. So we'll go through all the items.
So there are 2 families living in Tangle Tower?
3 pointers and 5 fellows.
Anyone
4
else?
fellows.
What's the connection between them?
Yeah, that's
There
true.
isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is
Okay.
Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, the
So it was
fellows
2
and the
sisters.
Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
Huh, okay.
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Mm-hmm.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The
Huh.
whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. What about the harp
What do you
statue?
make of the statue?
I know that's the
Does
only
she
harp
know
in
the
whole of
code?
Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
A little
What about
bit,
the
yeah.
symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
Okay, what about the tapes? They said they were yours, right?
This is mine.
Yeah?
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing.
Okay.
It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
I wonder if there was something going on between Freya and Poppy.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
A little
Someone's
bit.
being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you?
I mean, that's true
When
too.
I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue.
I mean,
Tell
I
me
don't
how it
know.
helps.
It's like shade on the case, I
Nothing
think.
about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
Okay, what about the egg?
What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh.
All right, brush and
I
palette.
would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. Why is the
Freya's
glass
paint.
cracked down one side?
Yeah, that's.
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
I don't know.
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff.
Yeah, there's something about those
It was
cracks.
my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Okay, the cracked tape.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like, didn't Fifi say that it was Poppy's tape? I feel like she did.
Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
All right.
Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly?
Oh,
Now, what about the
Hey,
drawings?
that's me.
This one.
Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that?
Photo of the
I
painting.
think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
A nightmare, huh?
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving
Maybe.
something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
I mean, I guess. Okay, now I'm kind of nervous to ask about the ripped photo because I feel like Poppy is the one ripped off of it and this might hurt her feelings. But we're going to go ahead and ask.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable.
Okay.
That belongs to Flora, I think.
Secret
Is that
diary?
Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm
not sure.
curious.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. she'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
Because you don't want to know.
How sweet.
That was Flora's drawings. The small lens. This is what we found in Hawkshaw's case.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
Nope.
No? Should we have?
No.
This is
it's
the second
just-
person who asked
looks like
that.
something she'd use, don't you think?
Fitz also asked us that.
Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did
Indeed.
you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that.
And the ornate
Is
trowel?
that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh. Never seen him use it.
Okay. Well,
All
let's look
right.
around.
Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
Nice.
I wonder what's in there.
We'll check it out in a little bit.
There's
First,
something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
all right, so we have 2 new leads, but let's look around in here first.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor.
Okay, what is this broken thing here?
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
That's what I'm wondering. Okay, so it's cracked too. A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Inside the horn and on the ground below are various shards of cracked glass. Huh. I wonder what it was before. Okay, maybe we can ask Poppy about it. What about these light? Are these like little lamps?
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Oh boy. All right, we've got, what is this, a cello, maybe?
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty,
It looks kind of big for a violin,
so I'm guessing nobody.
but maybe.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
Okay, that was the
So
same
I'm
thing.
guessing nobody.
We got pictures on the wall.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
Indeed.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
Oh.
You still don't
He's-
know, do you?
I was going to be like...
No.
I love how you lead with that. Okay, is there anything about this cloth?
All right, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
Okay, well, we got candles over here.
One old wooden bookcase.
Indeed.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Check.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Seems like a recipe to success for me.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Apparently. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. All right, let's look at the piano.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
A grand piano.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
Ooh, it might be. All right, let's go ahead and ask Poppy about the statue. What
Don't
about
look at me.
this?
I didn't break it.
Does
What
anybody
was
else
it?
use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
Okay. Well, let's go. Before we go to talk to Fifi, I want to check out Poppy's room. Which one is it, I wonder?
It's locked.
Okay, so I'm guessing probably not that one. I don't know which one of these two it is. Well, let's just go check out this one. Because it was across from Fitz, right? It is Poppy's room. All right. So she has more candles?
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
Of course not. We've got sheet music on the floor
More
again.
handwritten sheet music.
There's a sock.
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor. Nothing weird about that.
Okay.
To you.
What about this dresser? Can we look at this?
Empty.
Okay. We got this cabinet.
Anything in the wardrobe?
Wardrobe, that's the word I was looking
Dresses
for.
mostly. I never realized there are so many shades of black.
Alright, anything about the bed?
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case. It's got a music symbol here.
That is the bed.
I thought
This
vampires.
is
Okay.
a vampire who needs firm support.
We've got more sheet music here, too.
More handwritten sheet music.
Alright. There's the red
A
rose.
single red rose.
Is that the one Fitz gave her?
How very traditional.
Makes me wonder.
Yeah, weird.
Okay, is this like a drawing of a rose? There's all these geometric drawings on the wall.
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Yeah, hopefully nothing.
And this is, what is this, some kind of clock?
It's a metronome for keeping time.
Oh, that actually makes more sense. Why is it going, though?
It's
Oh.
ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking.
Yeah, if it's a metronome.
Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Okay. So, use the buttons to rotate all 4 metronome dials to the hoop at the top. Alright, so... Oh, okay. That will move these. This one, I think I understand. So this one will move this shape and the circle, right? Yes, okay. This one will move the square and the cross. And this one will move. Okay, so we've got these two. Now we need the Y and the cross to move. Okay. Let's get them kind of on top of each other a bit. Alright, now we want, that was this. If we move square and Y, now we can move this one. Easy peasy. Right? Let's
There
see.
we go.
Nice.
Perfect.
Indeed. That
What
one was
happened?
surprisingly not as challenging as I thought.
Little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph.
Oh, really?
Part of a photograph.
Is it the ripped part? Wait, what? Wait. What? Alright, Poppy. It's time to fess up. Something don't look right here. You are not a blonde, and you do not wear pink. So what has happened? And that pink tape is now yours. Okay, now it's making sense. Something definitely has happened. The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. The girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. The rest of the photo shows Fifi and Freya. It was hidden in Freya's room. Right. Definitely.
There's
That's-
something about that pink cassette tape.
Uh-huh.
Something suspicious.
Yes.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Let's go in a bit. Let's keep investigating, and then we'll check it out. There's also a lock over
A
here.
big glass door leads out into a garden.
Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
I wonder if we can figure out this one. Okay, so this... Oh, this is the same thing. We're gonna have to figure this out. This is the same thing that Fitz has on his. And I don't know. I mean, there are 4 on this one. Makes me wonder.
Nothing. Still locked.
Okay.
All 4 tiles have a moon symbol.
Yes.
Those other symbols look like suns. Surely that's something to do with it?
I think it is, but in an abstract kind of way.
Abstract. Move the tiles to the correct slots. I wonder what the correct slots would be.
I guess
We'll
we'll
have
come
to-
back later.
We'll have to figure it out. Because on top of it didn't seem to do it. What's with the octopus?
It's an octopus.
No, it's not.
Oh, is it a
It
kraken?
has 6 legs, not 8.
Oh, that is true.
Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Okay, moving along. All right. Anything with the dresser?
Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about.
Yeah, especially after that last comment. Moving along. Oh, wait, there's actually, let's look at the piano. So we've got this painting and this piano also.
There's a name for this kind of piano. You
Uh,
know, these ones that stand upright?
upright piano.
Sheet music. Presumably for piano.
Why is it framed?
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
That's what I'm wondering. The sheet music has been framed and is decorated with delicate old-fashioned illustrations. Okay. Makes me wonder. We can ask Poppy about that also. Alright. I think that's just about everything for now. So why don't we go back and talk to Poppy immediately, because I'm super curious about that tape. Yes, I want to talk to you. We can unlock suspicion now, but let's get our information first. So tell me about the photo.
Don't know what that is.
Uh-huh.
Weird. Considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well,
In a,
my room's
locked.
full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
Yeah, that's definitely,
Yeah,
you're hiding
it's mine.
something. Can you play the tune for us?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Okay. There was another option too.
Yeah,
Can we ask
it's
about
mine.
that? What is so special about
What's
it?
so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How
Oh.
long have you been playing?
Since
13
the day
years,
I turned
right?
6. Family
Okay.
tradition. I was
Mhm.
really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't
Really?
asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any
Interesting.
good?
She would have been even better than me
Huh.
if she'd stuck with it. But one day,
Well.
she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason.
Hmm.
That's when I realized things were different for her.
Really? I wonder why? Alright, we need to do the suspicion.
Yeah, I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm
Exactly.
away.
Alright.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to
Uh-huh.
have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know
Right.
what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Sure it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the
Right.
gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
Uh-huh. Somebody changed the color of the tape. You used to like these colors.
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
Nope.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
All right. So let's get the ripped photo. That is what we need.
Let's take a closer look at this.
All right. So, is an older version of found in the garden matches. Okay, so let's see. That's going to be the pink cassette tape. Yeah, okay, so the pink cassette tape. The message on the tape, the pink cassette tape, the crack. Oh, interesting. So yes, it's the pink cassette tape found in the garden matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
The pink cassette tape found in the garden matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Okay. Well, let's see. What do we change? Is there something else we can change? That was found, used by Fifi. That was found in Freya's room. Let's see. The message on the tape. Oh, maybe, wait, maybe it was found somewhere else. Found at the crime scene. Whoops. It was found at the crime scene.
The pink cassette
I was
found
thinking
at
it
the
was the
crime
one
scene
found in the
matches
garden,
pink
but that was
cassette
the other one.
used by Poppy in this old photo.
Yes.
That is not me.
Yeah, it is. I'll prove it.
Okay. All right. So let's see. We need this also. We match it together. There we go.
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's
Indeed.
clearly a photo of you with your two best friends.
Yes.
Why'd you tear it up and then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
The photo proves Poppy is the murderer. Poppy hates Fifi and Freya now. Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore. Well, Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore. I'm not getting the sense that she hates them. And it definitely doesn't prove she's the murderer.
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
Mm-hmm.
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Right.
Hold on.
Okay.
This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's
Yeah,
gotta be a
that's
connection
true.
between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I mean,
have
it
no
was in the
idea.
gramophone. Is there anything else we can say to her, I wonder? No, I think we've already asked her everything we can for now, right? All right, let's go ahead and move on and talk to Fifi and see what she has to say. All right, Fifi, we got some things to ask you. So first, I want you to tell me about Hawkshaw.
Name, Hawkshaw. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective.
Right.
Quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.
Ouch. All right, Poppy.
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, Apparently, Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Okay. What about this horn statue?
Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be?
Somebody has been in the music room. I wonder. Okay, so the horn statue also has the crack. Was somebody trying to experiment with music such that it would hit such a high note to crack crystal? Is that like a crystal glass, I wonder?
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
Uh-huh. I'm sure.
An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
Right.
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are,
Yeah.
yes.
But
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
is it
Oh.
anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
Okay. Is that because she's interested in Fitz? Alright, so let's talk to her about the suspicion.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation.
Mm.
Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10
So there are secrets written in here?
and this particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. It's Fifi's diary, as she has written in it.
It's Fifi's diary, and she has written in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
Oh,
This
so it's
particular
not
diary is
Fifi's
unused.
diary.
It doesn't look unused.
Okay, it's not Fifi's diary. But it's somebody else's diary? Or it's not a diary at all? Maybe? It's not a diary at all? Maybe it's something else? What would it be? I don't know.
It's not a diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so it's
Me
somebody
neither.
else's diary.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Alright, it's somebody else's diary.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue
Yeah.
to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
Okay, let's see. Do we have it? So it has, let's see. Let me look at this. It's got a star on it. All right, let's look. Did the sheet music have anything? Nothing necessarily jumping out at me. What about this? Nothing in that. What about the other photo? Ah, there we go. It was, okay, it was Freya's.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Right. Okay. So, the blue book is somewhat similar, is the same thing, is somewhat similar as to the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya. Let's see. Okay, so let's try this.
This blue book is somewhat
We're a little
similar
off.
to the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
Maybe we
Almost.
need to
Maybe
point
just
to the
change
star.
one thing.
Okay, change one thing. The metal lock, the bookmark, the secret diary. Okay, so which proves it belongs to Freya, but was lost by Fifi. I think it's which proves it belonged to Freya. Is it the same thing? The blue book is the same thing as this? Maybe.
This blue book
There we go,
is
okay.
The same thing
The
as
shades
the
were
secret
different, so
diary,
it was
which
throwing me
proves
off.
It belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and
But
you
why?
kept it locked too.
Why would I do either of these things?
That's what I'm wondering. Let's see. So, somebody, okay. Didn't know about, didn't want anyone to see. I think didn't want to see. Okay, so Fifi didn't want anyone to see something within Freya's diary. Personal secrets within Freya's diary. I think that's what it's got to be, right? She was very protective of Freya and she would want to keep it secret.
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Right, okay.
This is true, Fifi.
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something...
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way.
Yeah.
By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
What?
Might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Yeah, I
Very
think
well.
so.
I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
Oh boy.
Alright, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Nice.
Finally. What's in there?
I'm curious too. Alright. It's back in the flesh this time. Was it me? Did I let it out? Maybe I should rip up that painting. Wait, what? Soul Bearer Works. Impressive little thing. Okay, what? I have 2 now. Need 2 more. Found my way into the middle. Surprisingly simple compared to the harp. I saw them, all 5. Eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best. She could do with a little company. Oh, wow. Okay, so Freya was into some stuff she shouldn't have been, it sounds like. Can we investigate any of that? No, we can't. Okay. Alright, so Freya was definitely into some questionable activities. Alright. Can we ask about the diary now?
A book. My book.
No.
What's in it?
Pages.
Pages. Okay, so we can't ask anything new. Alright, so that's very suspicious. Alright. Well, I think part of it, she could use some company. I think that was talking about... I think that was talking about her, and maybe she was trying to resurrect the bird? Maybe? Yeah, alright, let's go check this room. This seems like another public room. What do we got in here? The aviary. Oh. Hello, lady.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
What?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shade... You're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny
Interesting.
Pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a
Okay.
little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
I
Sure.
guess
Yeah.
so. Okay, so tell us about yourself.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Oh, it makes
Travel.
sense.
Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it.
Oh, okay,
I call
so
it the
she's
only
actually a
habit in that.
scientist?
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
So maybe
Because
she
of
knows
the
something
birds.
about
Oh, no,
the
because of
bird
him.
in the painting.
Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know?
No.
My fiancé.
What?
Dear Fitz. He's not really
Wait,
the traveling type.
What?
Fitz Fellow.
The very one.
You're
What?
engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
But if you're engaged to Fitz, why is he giving a flower to Poppy that she's keeping in her room? Something seems fishy.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see.
I want to go talk to
returned the
Fitz.
aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company.
I guess.
As do I.
Oh, that's actually kind of sad. Tell me about your
Sometime
statement.
In the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I
Yeah.
inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room.
Right?
In the hallway, the door was off its hinges.
Because
I knew
Fitz
that
knocked it down.
Something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Right?
Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too. Standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle
Right.
suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Alright, well, let's see what you know about old people.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends?
Okay.
Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare
Right.
say I'm a little too loud for her.
That's what I
can see that.
figured.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Okay, so I kind of figured she might respect Flora because of Flora being a bird lover as well. But I'm guessing she don't like Felix. Let's find
must
out.
Say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
I don't know, maybe. What about Fifi?
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. You don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. How about Hawkshaw?
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Really?
Which part? The giant bird arms or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others.
Uh,
Look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer?
Yeah, what?
Why him?
Oh.
It was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility.
Right. Okay,
Did
okay.
you not know that?
Whoops. Okay, so, all right, now we know who her client is, but what is she looking for him, I wonder?
She'd
About
sit
Freya?
in the aviary first thing in the morning and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were
I
close.
wonder.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
I wonder if the painting of the birds had something to do with whatever kind of magic she was involved in. All right, tell me about your fiance, Fitz.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
All right, what about yourself?
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait,
Uh-huh.
is that
Uh-huh.
me?
Okay, what about Poppy?
Did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started.
Well, all right, so they definitely have some kind of feud going on for sure. Let's ask about all the items and see what she has to say.
No, it's probably quite impressive.
Tangle
To a visitor,
Tower?
fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about
Really?
inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Right, I believe that. What about the case file?
Finally, I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Yeah, a little bit.
Only last week I asked that miserable hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
No, not you. What about the harp statue?
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere.
Really?
Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
Read about the creature? All right, the damaged tape.
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
I wonder if she threw it in there. What about the open letter?
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
Of course it's not.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
Oh boy. All right, tell me about the painted
I
portrait.
doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her.
Oh, okay. That I don't know. What about the empty egg?
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
All right, the brush and palette.
Oh, that's rather sad.
All right, Freya's
Freya
paints.
doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities.
Well, she did take care of her paints. So you didn't know Freya very well. What about the gramophone?
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother. That's
Yeah,
cute.
okay.
Oh yes, adorable.
But Poppy is part of your family. There's something weird going on there. Crack tape?
How terrible.
You recognize it?
A color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Okay, I wonder if she might have had something to do with Poppy's change in colors. Painted model.
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
Well, she really doesn't like him. What about the painted models?
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
Yes. All right, Freya's drawings.
Very nice.
You've seen this before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
Mm-hmm. She does not want to see that one. All right, what about this photo of the painting in Freya's
I know a lot of
room?
people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. For some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew.
I feel like that's related to whatever magic is going on. All right, the rip photo.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
Yeah. All right. We might as well ask about the other
I
photo.
can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Of course. What about the bird book?
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Now, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So
Okay.
it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one.
What happened to
Very
it?
Last.
Oh.
I wonder what happened to it. The diary?
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our
Mhm.
guess too.
Excellent.
All right, what about Flora's drawings?
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Okay, the small lens.
I don't know what that is.
Uh-huh. The potted fruit. You've been in the garden, with Fitz. You should know this.
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
Okay, what about the trowel?
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
Okay, so it could be Penny Pointer. But I'm not sure. All right, what about the horn statue?
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Right, okay, and the sheet music.
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
Okay, so she definitely does not like
Room now.
Poppy.
Now,
Great.
Like, right now?
No, later. We're gonna look around here first.
Bird diagrams. Hand-painted.
Okay,
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
so she's very into the birds. We got a picture, mirror here though.
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
Oh boy.
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
All right, what's over here?
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Interesting. All right, we got a
A
pot
rather
over here.
magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
Nice.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
For Pointer, I assume. There's a grate here.
What's those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Okay.
Oh,
Can we click on the butterfly?
Check out that butterfly.
looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
All right. How about these birds that she's looking at?
And especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
All right, let's look at them. 3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage. That seems rather small for them, right? And why are these other cages all empty?
They're bird cages. But the birds are coming and going freely.
Yeah?
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is.
What? There's one missing here, right?
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage.
All right, let's ask her about the 3 birds. All right. So the birds in the
I must say
cage?
the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
Okay.
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Wow,
Glad
that
we cleared
was
that
helpful.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? It's just my hat. It doesn't have
Eh.
a name. Who would name their hat?
I love that weird look. What about these little birds?
Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah. No, doesn't matter.
All right. Is there anything else? I think that might be it for now. I want to go talk to Fitz, though. But I guess first, let's go to Penny's room. Is it going to be this one? No, it's going to be this one, right? Penny's room. Okay, so let's look around here. We got a book right
A
here.
little bedtime reading.
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
Uh,
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
All right, we got a little tea set here.
A little tea set. Looks recently used.
Interesting.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
Oh, okay, so she's having a tea party with her birds.
That's a big window.
All right, we got a little birdhouse here.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Let's see. Oh,
Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
swap the position of the 7 birds. Okay, so, are they going to match, I wonder? I don't know. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be. Some of these don't make any sounds. Alright, so what exactly do we need to do here? I don't know. Okay, so this one is... maybe they're directional, right? Potentially. Oh, wait, there's lines. Maybe it has to do with this one shares a feature, etc. So, what would we have? This one would need to go over here, right? Because it shares mouth open. These all have round eyes. These are slanty. This one has a closed mouth. We could try that.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged. Something to do with those white lines.
Right? Okay, so I feel like it's got to be like they need something in common, right? Now, what says we're over here versus over here? Like, this is kind of a descending thing, right? So if you went here and then close your eyes, no? We could easily do... What would these two have in common? Nothing, right? This one has its mouth open. This one is completely closed. They're sleeping up here. So maybe. But why would it be over here versus over here? This one has the mouth slightly closed, then more closed.
Nothing.
I think the birds are related to each other.
Right. Yeah, we're figuring that out. But how are they related? So that's the question. Maybe these are wrong. I don't know. This one, they all have something on their chest, right? Their wings are all in the same position. It's mostly their eyes. So this one is like completely asleep. Is it somehow related to this? Like you go, maybe you go like, you're like starting to yawn. Let's see. So you go here. Where would you go from here? And then you go more like this. Or maybe it's their eyes. I wonder. Their eyes are telling where they need to be. This would be straight ahead though, right? This is pointing down. This one is, and their beaks are also in a different position.
I guess that's wrong.
Right?
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line.
Okay, so it's
You
color.
need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
Oh, because those are the primary colors. Okay, okay. So blue and yellow make green. Green and white make that color. Green and red make that color. So that should be right.
Got it.
We almost had it,
I'm impressed.
but we had no idea what we were doing.
Did the door open? What's in there?
I'm wondering. Let's see. Now I'll get her. What? A ripped piece of paper crumpled into a ball. Red flower petals were found inside. A message is angrily scrawled onto the paper. Now I'll get her. Suspicious? All right, what is this?
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Is that related to what we just found? A brightly colored flower with an unusual shape. It looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot looks fresh and moist. It's also an unusual blue color. We can ask Fitz about that. What's with this?
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
We got mannequins in here.
Mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence.
We got one with a hat.
Get the feeling you're being watched.
Mannequins don't have...
That's not.
Okay, she was packed and ready to go.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
Interesting. Is there anything in this trunk?
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
Okay.
It's not even remotely suspicious.
Well, why is there a tree growing in her window?
Looks like nature invited itself in.
Indeed.
Rude.
Rude. Anything about the bed?
That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Exactly.
Does it feel warm over here? Or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
Maybe.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
Really? From the wall?
That bed. It's like...
Does it feel...
No, you're
It's
right.
not coming from the bed.
What could be coming from the wall? Is there something we need to investigate over here? I don't know. There's also drawings on the wall.
That bed. It's like some.
Does it feel
No,
it's
you're-
not coming from the bed?
What
That
about...
bed.
Does it feel
No,
it's
Yeah,
not
okay,
coming
so
from
I
the
don't
bed?
think there's anything we can investigate there. I'm not sure what's making the bed warm, unless it's like sun coming in. But let's go ask Fitz about what we found. Plus we can ask him about Penny. Oh, he's hiding over here. I was like, where did he go? All right, so tell me about Penny.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this
Indeed.
the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be.
Mm-hmm.
People think she's, well, they make assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
Mm-hmm. That didn't sound right.
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair. An average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
Why is this flower
A
in
flower.
Penny's room?
That's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
Okay. Tell me about the horn
What's with the
statue.
broken glass?
A ripped photo?
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
Everyone knows who it is.
Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course.
What about the birds in the cage?
Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they like her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names.
But-
Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not.
Okay, the crumpled note.
Those petals, they,
What?
they're red.
Right. Very astute. Thank you. That was oh so helpful. Good job, Fitz. All right. I think we'll investigate the last room. Maybe we'll get a lead. The professor should be here. It's the astronomy tower. Hello? You have a book on your head? No, that's just your hair? I don't know.
Stars. They're whispering. So quiet and yet so loud.
What are they
I
whispering about?
don't hear the
Are
stars.
they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Okay.
Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find
Indeed.
yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Okay.
Seems like
And
this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
well,
Helpful.
all right. Tell me about yourself.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And
Okay.
of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And
Right.
a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
A little hobby.
Sounds
That's
like you're
all.
quite
Nothing
well-known.
big.
You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to
Right.
translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
All right. What happened
Day
yesterday?
began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine.
Oh
I
boy.
took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
So Fitz should have been around there, right?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't
Okay.
bother them, of course.
That checks out.
I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
You look
Did
a
you see
little crazy,
anything?
my guy.
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious turn
But-
of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
Okay, tell me
I
about
was
it.
at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't
Okay.
find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it.
So you went
I
to
left
the
my
library.
tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked
Okay.
impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed
What
her
was she
by and
looking
went
for in the
upstairs to Fiona's
library?
room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could
Interesting.
ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up
Huh.
to Flora's tower.
So one of them's
Freya
not
was
telling the
laying on her
truth.
back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived
This
shortly after
isn't
we
lining
did,
up.
and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
All right, we already have some statements not adding up right. Let's go ahead and ask him about all the people. Now we got all the suspects. So what about
A
Flora?
listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
All right, what about Felix?
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune.
I wonder if
That
that's
is,
what
if
he has
hasn't already
Hawkshaw looking
squandered
for.
it Or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Right, the best of friends. What about Fifi?
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her.
You're very
Dangerously
suspicious.
intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we
Could
operate
be.
on very different wavelengths. Literally.
Yeah, okay. She operates on the intelligent one, and you operate on the I'm crazy one. What about Hawkshaw?
Hard to read, that one, but
You
she
hired
seems
her.
to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
Ouch! What about Freya?
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I
Did you
think
try?
she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself. Wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours.
Right?
She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
I feel like maybe she had something to do with that statue in the pond. Like maybe she figured out a secret there? I don't know. What about Fitz?
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
But he's also
Yeah, but not the
engaged to a
Pointer
member
family.
of your family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother.
Okay.
Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family.
Oh.
Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
Huh. Okay. What about yourself?
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have
Ouch.
time.
What about Penny?
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time, until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Wow. Okay, what about Poppy?
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
Yeah? Okay, what happened?
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington
Right.
by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went
Away,
away.
why? Nobody ever explains what that means. Alright, so let's ask about all the things. First, Tangle Tower.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are 2 towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a
Okay.
rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade.
Interesting. Alright, what about the
Not
case file?
exactly a wealth of information, is it?
Hey!
enough.
The harp statue.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone.
Why?
The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
Yeah, that sounds like a cover-up. I think you might know something about this. What about the
Isn't
tape?
the process of decay fascinating?
It's not
Sure.
really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
Okay. What about the open letter?
Where on earth did you find that?
On
It
the
was in
front
the bush
step?
outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar.
What about the painted portrait?
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar.
Right. What about the empty egg?
Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Uh-huh.
At the moment, it was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
What about the brush and palette?
Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I don't
guess it's
think
possible.
so. But I don't think so. What about Freya's paints?
Is this important?
Possibly.
The gramophone?
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows.
Mm-hmm.
Typical.
The cracked tape.
I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
We don't know yet.
Well, possessions are fleeting, my friends.
Indeed. All right. What about the painted model of Felix?
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license.
Now the painted models he did?
This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know.
Gotta get that shot in. What about Freya's drawings?
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
What about the photo of the painting?
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
It looks like a
What
crystal of some
fascinating
sort.
interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, the ripped photo.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
She looks so angry there. What about the other
What
side?
a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
Nobody wants to admit that it's Poppy.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks
Maybe.
like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Yeah?
Well put.
Hey, what about the secret diary?
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary.
Yeah, it does. What about Flora's drawings?
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a
I
while
don't
since
know.
I've seen it.
I don't know. Nobody knows. Is this your lens?
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Maybe.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
All right. What about the potted fruit?
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's
Yes.
wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it.
That's
Makes
true.
you wonder why he bothers at all.
What about the trowel?
Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like
Yes.
a weapon to me.
Mm-hmm. What about the horn statue?
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Indeed.
Playing a trumpet, yes.
All right, the sheet music.
Oh, my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano.
Primrose?
That is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Oh, okay,
Poppy's
okay.
piano teacher was her mother.
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything,
Oh.
Poppy still has it up on her wall.
Huh, okay. Birds in
That's
cage.
rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't
That's
it?
what I was
But then,
thinking.
aren't we all trapped in a cage?
Now the crumpled paper that says "Now I'll get her."
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
I don't know about that. What about this potted
What
flower?
kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, I think we'll look around. What is this?
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Okay. Sure. Let's go over them all. So, we'll go back there and check it out. So, let's see. Suspect statements.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
There's
see if
definitely
anyone's been
things
lying.
that doesn't add up.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. They're just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase.
Right.
As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got
Okay.
angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer. So I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a picture of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
Okay.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
Okay.
A remarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
Huh.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. So, now what do we do? Interesting. I wonder... There's something else that we're gonna have... More stuff we're gonna have to figure out, it looks like. Well, for right this moment... Let's go back up to the astronomy tower and finish investigating. Alright, let's look around here. So we have a notepad.
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
Huh.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
I guess. What about the books?
It's tidier than my desk.
Oh.
So, even the most well-used notebooks.
Okay, we got a mug of coffee.
It's full of tea, but it's gone cold.
Oh, tea.
Criminal.
What's this picture?
A picture frame.
With no picture.
I wonder what was in there. Is there anything in the desk?
It's tidier than my desk.
Oh, okay.
Even the most well-used notebooks.
We've got pictures on the wall.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally?
What is this?
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
Yeah?
I would look at it.
Okay, well, let's look at it now.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Rotate the 5 planets, the sun and the moon. Okay. I'm not sure how exactly we would do this. Are they supposed to be, like, separate from each other, I wonder? Around the middle? Is there... I wonder if there's something in the room that tells us what it should be. Let's see.
So there are 2 ways to move the shadows. Rotate the planets and rotate the sun and moon.
Okay. So do we want them all to line up, I wonder? I don't know. Or are we... oh, wait. Maybe we want to cover up these lines. Okay, that could be it. I think that might be it. We want to cover up these lines here. So what would this one be? I don't think that one's necessarily anything. Alright. This one makes this shape. Okay. Okay. So let's look at this one, for example. Maybe, okay, that one actually, it's not quite right. Oh, there we go. That one's right. Okay, so now we gotta figure out which one goes next. Not that one. No. We got, which one fills up the next most? No. Maybe they overlap a little. I wonder. Probably, I don't know. We could also do this side too. Oh, maybe these fill up that one. Okay. And then, okay, so this seems to fill up everything. Let's see.
I got it.
There we go.
I'm impressed.
Me too. All right.
Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
What was it?
There's a little hatch underneath. What's in there?
Let's
A bunch
see.
of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Okay. This is bugs. Golden beetle, various research notes and diagrams. The golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton composed of mineral, approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss, records of over 95 decibels, and by being completely undigestible. The mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it. So that makes me think maybe she had this golden beetle and that was a high enough decibel to break the glass? Interesting.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Okay.
Let's ask her about it.
We'll go in a little bit. We'll go later. Oops.
So, even the most well-used notebooks.
Okay, what else do we have in here? Is this anything?
What is it?
It's clearly some kind of large device.
Of course.
You're not wrong.
We got books.
A Spyglass to the Stars, volumes 1 to 12.
Oh boy.
They're in very good condition.
What is in this glass
A bell
jar?
It's empty.
What do people normally keep in bell jars?
I don't know.
Other than bells, you mean?
What about this little planet?
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Oh boy. We've got this stuff over here.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
What about the telescope?
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
Of course, of course.
I want to try.
Let's see. Oh. Why? Why are you looking at her?
You can see right into Flora's room.
Exactly. So you saw the murder.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting.
Right.
I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Right?
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe.
Maybe it's glued down.
We can see the gramophone.
I can just about see the gramophone.
Okay. We can see
You
this.
can see right into Flora's room.
Not by
I can see
accident.
behind her. I can't really see anything.
Okay. But we can clearly see the door.
I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges.
Right. Something about the fact that you can see this makes it very
Clara,
suspicious.
I think we might have missed something.
Okay, so let's see what else. Let's click on the easel.
You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by
I can see behind her. I can't really see anything behind.
Can we move the telescope? We can see. What else can we see? We can see over here.
It's too dark back there. I can't really see anything.
Okay. What about over here?
It's too dark back there. I
All right. And we can clearly see
You can
Flora.
see right into Flora.
Not by
I can see behind her. I can't really see.
What about up here? There's
a window?
There's an extra room up there.
I think it is.
Right.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
Right, I thought she was
We
in the
should
top
check that
floor.
next time we're over there.
Right. Okay, is that it?
Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope?
Right. So why is he looking in her bedroom?
I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
Uh-huh.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
Yeah, you're kind of creepy, sir. Did we get any notes about that? We got the golden beetle we can ask him about. Can you tell us about the golden beetle?
We found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower.
Right.
I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
It wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Right. Yeah, very suspicious, sir.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits.
Mm-hmm.
Something suspicious.
I agree.
Let's ask him about it.
Let's definitely ask him about it. All right.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
Exactly.
It's
I'm
not
curious.
a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
You know, waving your hands
how
around doesn't
long
make
have
you
you been an
less
astronomer?
suspicious.
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Uh-huh.
Why do you ask me these things?
I
Because
have
you're
a
not
theory
looking at
about you,
the
Professor.
stars?
Oh, go on.
You're not really interested in astronomy after all?
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
Mm-hmm. What is Pointer actually researching it? Is it the golden beetle? Let's see.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right.
That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, into the
about that?
fellow tower. So, Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky, right? So let's see.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
Exactly.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Yeah.
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
That's
Why?
a good question,
because
isn't
you lost
it?
your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Oh, that makes sense. That's
Might
what
not have been
Hawkshaw's looking
Flora you were
for.
spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly
Mhm.
rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand.
That's what was in the bell
Freya
jar?
was always sneaking around. Both towers and in the gardens, too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking
Right.
to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
Yes, please let us know.
No, I didn't. When I looked into the
Right.
room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You
What?
mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
let's save that for next
Freya
time.
was definitely up to something.
She definitely was.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
I knew it. I knew it.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
We'll do that also next time. We have so much stuff that we need to investigate in our next episode. We have to go check out the gardens, go over the crime scene again. Plus, we can go talk to all of the suspects now and ask them about everybody and everything that we've discovered. So it's going to be interesting seeing how this case unfolds. Right now, I'm kind of suspecting that Freya was up to something fishy, and something she did, I feel like, is what caused her murder, her death, whatever you want to call it. What was that exactly? I don't know, but her journal is very suspicious. So we'll have to think about what all this means. But if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/thehour27. I have my schedule posted in the about and in the description. And if you want to see which games we're playing each day, I post them on x.com/thehour27. And I hope you'll join me in the next one. Until then, guys, bye. All right, man, that was some crazy, just some craziness there. So let's quit to the title screen. Boy, I can't wait for the next one. I'm like super excited to see what happens with this. But that's gonna be all for today though. Man, I'm just, my mind is just going over all the different possibilities that could be happening with this. Like, was there even a murder for one? Maybe it was like not a murder so much as some kind of weird thing. Like, maybe the golden beetle escaped and like screamed and somehow, you know, let off that high decibel sound and broke glass that somehow, you know, killed Freya with it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's going to be really interesting seeing how that plays out. So we are going to be back here on Thursday, and we are going to be playing some Phasmophobia. So we're going to be with Night Flurry and I think Math also, and we're going to attempt to tackle the weekly challenge. So we will be working on that on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm trying to look for who to raid also. I think we will see about raiding Silenria. She's also playing Tangle Tower. She's earlier than we were, so you know, you may be interested in checking that out. But anyways, thank you everybody so much for joining me today. Thank you for spending your evening with me, and I look forward to Thursday. I hope you guys do too, and I hope you will join me for some Phasmophobia. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.